I'm here with Brett Blair from Simpson Strongtie. He's going to explain a few of the new products that they have available. Brett, take it away.
Okay, first item we were discussing that's fairly new is our concealed post base. It's a little bit different post base. Usually the post base has the little flanges coming up on the sides, and if you wanted to finish it off with some nice trim or something, they would always be in the way. So this is a way for us to build a post base. It gets installed with 2 anchors down to your foundation or your footing. You get this plate. This plate comes in the box. It's all separate pieces. The plate you use as a template.
Yep.
You drill your holes through. You take the 1-inch standoff because you need a 1-inch standoff because you do not want the wood sitting on the concrete because water will wick up and cause the wood to rot. You drop this down. You cut it. Well, you cut a saw curve for it.
Sure.
Put it over the blade. Install your pins. You get 3 pins. Comes with the kit, and that's all you would need to do. You could plug these, or if you want to wrap it with a nice piece of trim, that'd be available too.
In rough costs, maybe?
Rough cost, you're probably looking at probably about $9-10 for a 4x4, a little bit more for a 6x6.
Okay, great. And what else do you have?
Here you have uplift screws.
Yep.
These are for attaching your plates to your rafter.
Right.
It's a 6-inch long screw. They come in a box of 50. Your cost on these would probably roughly be between $25 and $30 for the box. T30 drive, small cap head, so that when you drive it up, it can be buried into the plate.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about interference with drywall.
Sure. And this has been out for a little while, but it's still trying to catch on a little bit.
We're trying to show the complete load path.
Sure.
And using these screws, we've got a new product as well that is added to this to get you from the rafter all the way to the foundation.
Yep.
So you get this little template in the box. This helps you drive the screw up at a 22.5-degree angle, which is required for the rafter. But you can do it by eye because you have a leeway of 10 to 30 degrees. It doesn't have to be exactly 22.5.
Okay.
So you have some leeway in that. So when you get used to it, you may not need the template anymore.
Yep.
Now there's also a 4.5-inch version of this screw that you would use down here where you have a single plate, and you would drive a 4.5-inch screw down to a single plate.
Okay.
The double plate here, you would drive a screw up. So this would do from your plate to your rafter, and then from your studs to your plates, up and down.
Yep.
The other feature about this screw is that it's fully threaded. There's no smooth shank at the top.
Right.
That way, when it's in the wood, it's threaded in both the rafter and the plates, or the stud and the plates. That way, when tension, if there is a high wind, hurricane, tension is throughout the whole length of the screw.
Yep.
And that loose shank, it won't be loose.
Right.
It'll be tight throughout the whole length of the screw. So now to complete the load path, when you make all those connections with this screw, we now have the SDWF screw, which is a floor. The SDW type screw for floors, which takes you from the bottom plate of the top floor to the top plate of the first floor.
Yep.
Okay. The load on this part is developed by how many threads you get in here. So if you're only using single plates on your first floor, top plates, most use double, so you get the full 3 inches. You get the value based on that full 3 inches. With this part, you also get this plate washer. We call it a take-up washer, TUW. It comes with the 4 screws. You screw it down, and you can see here when you screw this down, I don't know if you can get in there close enough, but there's threads right underneath the head, and those lock into that little, V-shaped or triangle-shaped washer. And once it sets on that, and you've screwed into the plate, what this does, it's like a take-up device. So if the wood shrinks or you get compression, that will take up to 1/2 inch of shrinkage in the wood or compression. So that connection will stay tight, and it'll remove the need for a strap on the outside. Because a lot of times when you put a strap from floor to floor and the wood shrinks, the strap wants to bow out. And if you have siding on there, your siding can bump out. It's always an issue. So this is a replacement for that. The nice thing about this is when you have to strap, typically you're strapping every stud. With this, you might be able to space it every 24, 36, or possibly 48 inches, depending on what your loads are, your uplift loads are.